Is that a reason for you not to know when my birthday is? I want for anything. Don't you agree? Emotionally, right? And you're financially, right? I should not want for anything. Don't you agree?
When you say you shouldn't want for anything, what do
you? I should not want for anything. I'm not talking about I want a Lambo. At the time, I want elite socks. Basketball socks is $12. I should not want for anything,
hold on.
right?
Now, what age is this? What?
I'm asking you again. But we didn't got to worry about the age. We didn't got to worry about the age. This is a general question. If you're not going to be there physically and emotionally, but you're traveling, you got to get the money. I should not want for anything,
especially if
right?
you're paying child support. Okay, so what's he paying child support?
It. Simple. If he paying child support, hold on, let me say another one, Joe.
Was he paying child support at the time you're talking about?
Choke, the question, Choke. I got a question, Choke. Choke, you cannot compare the situation to yourself. One.
Oh, nigga,
we're talking about. Choke, we're talking about a full.
So if you pay child support, you not supposed to
you
can't spend no extra bread on your kid or get your kid saying you want to be a dad because you paying child support.
Hold on, wait. I got a question.
Nigga, you know how much child support
you that?
50
guys you know how much money he was making? What the fuck?
Hold on, wait. Do you know how much? Hold on, let me see.
It goes about how much money you make.
Say, correct me if I'm wrong.
Hold on. Because Fosti said it. It's the truth. Go ahead. Let me hear.
Did he or not? Now I heard this is public record. Him saying that he cut the check for whatever it was maybe in a year or the full amount of child support to your moms. No.
Cut a check for what? Okay. What he said? It says like 1 point something, right?
Maybe that's.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right, you pay child support, right? Did you give one lump sum?
No, because I didn't have to.
Oh.
It's monthly.
Okay. But you have the option to pay it.
Yo, bro, you keep ringing the wrong bell.
Okay, listen. Child support, I believe, came around when I was 12 or 13. Or maybe 11, I think. 10 years of child support. 1.2 over, what was it? It was like $1 million, I think. What he claims is $1 million, right? It's $6,700 a month.
Okay. And I can't buy socks?
Listen to what I'm saying to you.
Right.
$6,700 a month, right? $6,700 a month. $6,700 a month, right?
$6,700 a month, right? You telling me?
That's hold on, wait. Time out. Hold on, listen. Don't compare.
I'm from New York.
This is the biggest mistake everybody make. You're comparing it to yourself. You're comparing it to yourself. You're comparing it to your life. Don't do that.
6,700.
Don't do that. You're talking about a Forbes lister. Hold on, wait, listen. You're talking about somebody that has problems with everybody. You can't just live in any neighborhood. $81K is not a substantial lot of money.
Hold on.
You're talking about you got beef with everybody in the industry. You can't just live anywhere.
And if he's contributing $6,700, that means your mom's got the other half. It ain't just for him to fucking take care of you. She got to take care of you too. She got to work too, nigga. He giving up $6,700. Where's her $6,700 to go with his? Now y'all got $1,200, $1,300, $13,000 a month. Oh my! See, hold on. Yo, choke. This is where you get it. This is where it goes down a bad path, brother. This is what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Yo, bro, $6,700. If I told you right now, right? You got to start your life over right now with $6,700 a month and rebuild your life. Yes.
Can you do it?
With $6,700, I can.
You have nothing.
$6,700, yes, I can. Nigga, I'm from the fucking mud. I'm from Edenwald Project. $6,700, I'm good.
That's what I'm saying.
Nigga.
Stop comparing it to yourself.
With two
kids.
This
is what I'm saying to you. Choke, this is where you go wrong. You gotta stop comparing it. You comparing it to yourself, bro. You can pay it on your standard of lifestyle, bro. You cannot do that. Can't do that. Listen, Choke. I jumped out of a burning house, brother. I had nothing.
Okay.
I know what it feels like to have nothing, all right? And I had to rebuild my life over with $6,700 a month.
Marquise, I know you feel like that ain't a lot of money, but it's a lot of people here watching right now.
It's
girls that's getting
$81,000
$200 a month child support. Fucking $100, $50 a month child. I'm telling you, they watching right now, bro. You talking about
bro, we're talking
a
about
nigga contributing $6,700 and all the baby mother got to do is put her in it?
Yo, 80,000. What are you talking about? My mother has. Listen, this is where you getting it wrong, bro. So hold on, talk about. Now, this is the problem. They want everybody to be raised just like them. So you telling me my mom should not be home with me, supporting me physically, emotionally, because you're going to get the money. So now she has to go get the money. Nobody's watching me.
What do you mean nobody's watching you? Your mother's getting $6,700 a month. She can get a babysitter. She can put you in child care while she's working. What are you serious?
Where am I living for 60? Wait. Cool. Babysitter.
Marquise, you're not going to tell me that. You tell me your bills.
How much?
Where you live at? What city you live in? Yo, hold on, brother. Let me ask you. If 50 gave you $6,700 a month, would you be able to survive off that shit? Be real.
$6,700 a month.
Hold on, wait. They talking about. Hold on, wait. This is the thing, Brody. He's saying survive, not thrive. Survive.
Yo, the thing is though, look.
Bare minimum survive. That's what he's saying.
Marquise, are you telling me your bills right now is $6,700 a month?
Nah, my bills is more than $6,700 a month.
Yes, nigga.
Okay. Now, if you had a girlfriend living with you, she don't got to work. You just pay all the fucking bills. Oh,
nah, hold on. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Brody.
Huh?
Brody, you pay your bills?
Yeah.
Brody, you pay your bills?
We the men, nigga. We
pay your bills?
Hold on, your lady live with you?
Sounds about right to me.
Who, me?
Your lady live with you?
What?
Your lady live with you?
Huh? Yeah.
Your Brody. Okay. She don't pay no bill. Okay,
my
she fucking pay bills.
$49, bro. And my light is a.
I don't give a fuck, nigga.
Bro,
she contributing.
I'm not. But you acting like, hold on.
She ain't living for free.
No, contributing and paying a bigger bill.
As a man, right? As a man, this is how I was brought up. As a man, we provide, bro. You feel me? So.
Yeah. As a man, you provide, nigga, but you don't never get a motherfucking woman that ain't gonna
listen, like Keith was saying earlier, contributing is more than money, bro.
Wait a minute, hold on, wait. Nobody said nothing about contributing.
Make sure we is fed.
Hold on, Brody.
Brody, let me tell you something. Does your lady work? Okay, so all her money, she saves it. Okay, now, what happens if you break your leg? I don't know what line of work you're in. Let's say your leg is your money.
She got a
break your leg, right? So she gonna take care. She gonna hold you down until your leg is ready. And if you can't, and now you think all women is doing that?
I can speak for my women.
Okay, well you got a good one, brother.
So, I'm asking. Hold on, Brody. How much you say?
Yo. Huh?
Hey, Brody.
Hell no.
You a Forbes listener?
Definitely not.
You on a Forbes list? You made millions of dollars? So I got a question, right?
That's a fact.
Would you feel the way if
funny?
your child right now lived any different?
Me and her had these conversations if something happened to me or if something happened right? So I set up life insurance. I set up money just in case shit happen. You feel me?
Okay, welcome back to the Flippant podcast. It is your host, Flippant, back in here with another video. Before we get started, we need to introduce somebody. All right, This is one of my neighbors. I'll let her go ahead and introduce herself.
Hello, I'm Heather.
Why is that? Is that coming out through somewhere? Can you hear that? Oh, coming out through here. Well, go ahead and plug yourself. Do you like your Instagram?
I don't really have a whole lot. Just.
Well, how is anybody supposed to hit on you if you don't give up your? Because they're gonna be like, "Yo, what's her Instagram? Yo, I'm trying to fly in there and see what's good." You know what I'm saying?
Well, you'd have to friend request me first of all. It's a private account, but I don't even know what my Instagram is. How do you like memorize that stuff?
Because I'm constantly on social media trying to figure out like what people are thinking, what people are saying, and what the new thing is.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I do, but I don't. I do have an Instagram and Facebook. It's under Heather Mitchell. So.
Oh, that's how you pronounce that. I was thinking it was like Heather Michelle, but like somebody spelled it weird.
No, it's Mitchell.
You want to know something? Like all the divorcees that I know like tend to use their middle name as their last name on social media.
I kept my married name.
Okay.
I didn't get rid of that. My maiden name is on there also, but I kept my married name.
Oh, you hyphenated it? Is that what it kind of?
No, I mean, it's still like my legal name is my first, middle, and then my married last name. So I just didn't get rid of my married name. It was easier to keep it.
Yeah,
I have a boy, so his last name's never going to change.
You know, like Tina Turner? She kept the last name.
Yeah.
Even after Ike was, beating her ass, allegedly.
Yeah.
No,
Mine didn't do that. It was easier to keep the last name.
Very well. All right. So what we'll do after this, for all you thirsty ones out there in the crowd, who tend to go after, who this woman might be your type, we'll post it down in the comment section. All right. Make sure that everybody, gets their turn to shoot their shot, because obviously, you ever seen somebody on like I guess like in passing or something like that? You're like, man, I wish I got his name. Like, swear, I wish I got his number.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that in the past where I was like, dang, all right, he was really hot, but yeah.
Yeah, see, we don't do that on this channel. We make sure that there's an opportunity for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that way you can't come back and say, there's no good men out there. It's like, yo, what about, those 13 dudes who hit you up the DM? You're saying all of them are bad,
You never know.
Yeah, exactly. This could be the opportunity of a lifetime. And if you do so happen to meet the love of your life off of here, make sure that, there's a little donation or a tippy tip that ends up in my cash app.
You will be the one that gets all the credit of it.
There you go. You can't put a price on happiness, can you? You really can't. All right, so today we're talking about child support.
Dun, dun, dun. Such a touchy subject for so many people.
It's a touchy subject because there's always, he does this and she does that. And coming out of a divorce, I mean, nobody's ending it like happily. You know what I'm saying?
No. I don't feel like anyone leaves a marriage like it's few and far between that somebody leaves a marriage and they're like, yes, this is what we wanted to do kind of situation.
Yeah.
Usually someone's always upset or hurt by it.
Exactly. One person's not getting enough and the other person is, I guess, not getting enough either because now you're divorced. So it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why it does become a touchy subject.
Yeah.
Now, what happens whenever the kids are fighting those battles? Like, how does that even work out?
Like the battle of...
not enough money and...
I feel like that happens more as you get older. As they get older, when they're younger, I feel like child support really does... It's easier when they're younger because, like, the amount of money they don't require as much. But the older they get, the more expensive they get. Their clothes get more expensive. They get into extracurricular activities. So everything does get more expensive. And your child support doesn't adjust just because they decide to join things, technically. That's something that you have to work out with your ex-spouse or your ex in order for it to become more.
How well do those conversations go?
For me and my ex, it's not always horrible. At the beginning, it sucked at the beginning. But I feel like, in my personal opinion, when you talk to men in general about money, they get a little bit more defensive about their money because they feel like, well, I divorced you, so I'm not supporting you. And that was something that my ex always said. He's like, I'm not paying you child support to support you. I'm paying you child support to support our son.
Right.
And one thing that I make a very conscious effort is when I do get my child support every single month, like that goes towards bills that go towards him. It doesn't go towards my hair. It doesn't go towards any of that. If I want my hair done, that gets put aside for myself. Like that's something I pay for.
Right, because you work.
Yeah, because I work. But it's the older they get, the more expensive they get, and that is conversations I've had to have with my ex about because my son's in sports now. So I'm like, I need you to help pay for that. Like it costs to get him signed up, costs to get him his shoes, his soccer balls, it costs all of that. Like your child support doesn't cover that. Your child support covers the cost of living as a child.
So I'm going to jump right into it. Why would you want to, and I don't know about your situation, but maybe you can help me figure something out. Like why would you want to split a family and incur, more costs, especially while you have the kid? Wouldn't it be more financially wise to stay in that marriage until, first of all, like while it was promised, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because after you break that promise, your word pretty much means nothing, at some point. And that's what I'm thinking, I'm not, and I am married too. And it's like, well, we got to work some things out. And there's not really much that would cause me to get divorced. It's more,
I think, I know, like for us, we had a lot of issues. We ended up getting our divorce, stuff like that. Staying in the marriage at the end would have caused more trauma to our son down the road and stuff like that than it would have been just getting divorced. And I can say that for other people that I know also. Like, just that have stayed in a marriage for years just because they didn't want to break up their family. And they endured trauma to themselves, trauma to their kids, just to try to stay in a marriage to make it work. And now that, once the divorce happens, you're trying to fix all the trauma that happened while you were in the marriage. And I can say that I had to fix things also from when I was in the marriage and I tried to make things work.
Right.
And it just, don't stay married just because you have a kid. Like, yes, you make a vow to that person and you want it to work, but if it's not working, leave the marriage. Like it's more beneficial in the end to the children.
Okay, so if that's the case, and hopefully it doesn't feel like I'm attacking, I'm more of a like I have an inquisitive mind.
Okay.
Like I must know. If that's the case, would you get married again?
I would. I say that, like, so for the longest time I swore I would never get married ever again. I was like, I'm done, I'm not doing this, like I'm out, not getting married. And then I did meet someone, and it made me realize that, yes, marriage could be on the table again for me.
Right.
And because I realized what it was to be happy. Like, I met someone that met my needs. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, marriage could be back on the table for this. So, yeah, I probably would get married again.
So even if, like, let's say how the world is coming now is that, you can get married. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. You can get married. But then it doesn't really have to be a commitment anymore because it's so easy to get a divorce.
That sucks. Like, I grew up, like, my parents are still married. They've been married for 45 plus years. So, like, I grew up in a, family that was still together. You grew up, you get married, and you work your stuff out. Right. So for me, me being divorced, I felt like a failure. And it was probably up until about a year ago that I still felt like a failure. Like, I failed my family getting divorced. So now getting married again, statistically they state, like, once you're 60%. Divorced, like, next one is you're more likely to get divorced again.
That's right.
So you get married again, and I think it's because it's so easy. You already know how easy, or I guess it's not really easy, but how you know what to do to get out of it, if that makes sense.
Right. Which, I mean, if making that promise really mattered, then people would stay in their marriages. Mm-hmm. And, if I go and ask my grandmother, like all the stuff she had to deal with, I'm pretty sure things were a lot worse. It was, if my grandmother decided to leave my grandfather, she's not going to get much of anything. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be a lot. It would behoove her to stay in the marriage, because if she wasn't, she'd be ruined. She'd be homeless, and this man doesn't have to deal with whatever her needs are anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then we move forward. Now, the government gets involved in marriage, and the state gets involved in all marriage and parts of life, and they tell men what to do after we get divorced. It's like, hey, look, I have a lifestyle. She doesn't want to be with me anymore. That means her lifestyle is going to be, degraded. That's on her. That's the risk of getting divorced.
Yeah.
Because at some point you might not love the man anymore, but you love what he can do for you.
So, like, for me, like, my lifestyle changed after we got divorced, and it changed because I didn't have that dual income anymore.
Right.
And I adjusted my life to that divorce. But my son did not have to suffer from that. So it's like, when you look at divorce and you look at child support's based off of what I make, what he makes, what we pay for daycare each, and then whoever handles medical. And then the court says, okay, well, this is what you guys are bringing to the table. This is the lifestyle your child should have if you two were still together, and this is the amount of money that you're going to pay towards that.
Right. So if the lifestyle, like, is he able to live a better lifestyle right now? Does he live better than you specifically?
I don't think he lives better than me. I keep my son humbled. Like, his dad pays child support. The bills are paid. There's food on the table. There's, he's got electricity. He's got all of that. He's got every need met that he needs. Right. Now, if you were to be like, walk into my house and think he's got the newest and greatest of absolutely everything, he doesn't. Right. And but at the same time, even if him and I were still married, he still wouldn't have the latest and greatest of absolutely everything, because I grew up different. Like, I didn't grow up having the newest PlayStation. I didn't grow up having, the latest and greatest of everything. And I grew up, you have a bike, get outside, you go play, street lights are on, you come home, kind of thing. Like, you drink water out of the hose. Like, I grew up very, country almost to an extent. Like, my parents were blue collar. My mom was a school teacher. My dad owned a lawn care business. So, like, we didn't have a lot of money. Our family vacations, like, when everybody where I'm from Florida, so everybody's family vacations, they're going to Disney, they're going to all these different places. We were going camping. Like, those were our family vacations.
You do what you can, and especially in a situation like that where to get it back on topic. I'm sorry. So if the lifestyle wouldn't change, and the courts look at it as, it takes about $1,800 to raise this kid, in one household, but you're splitting. You ever look at that and go, well, it doesn't really take $1,800 if we were together. It only takes this much money if we're apart. Like, because I look at my daughter and it's like, well, my daughter's not costing me $1,800 a month. The food that we make. I don't consider having a 7-year-old, eating with us, that we have to buy a lot more. Might be a little bit more, and then we always have leftovers because it's that little bit more that.
Yeah, I look at it that way. Like, we have looked at it that way too. Like, for me and him, we don't go through the court system. We kept our son out of the court. Right. We kept our child custody case completely out of the court. We came up with the agreement on our own. We came up with the amount of money that we make on our own, and then we agreed upon other stuff. But I don't think that if you took his income against my income, and I'm just making up numbers, this isn't what we make, but if you were to be like, okay, yeah, $1,800, it does not take $1,800 a month to raise my 7-year-old by any means. If you took that into consideration, you would come up with a number of, like, how much of my money am I giving up to raise this kid?
and then like you should half that and be like, okay, so this is what you should pay for child support, especially like because I'm not saying I don't believe in child support.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because let's say there's some dads out there who are extremely busy and they would like to provide for their kid, but they can't provide it with time, and time is way more important than money.
Yeah.
But if money is all you can provide, then do that. It doesn't make the kid less upset at them.
No,
You know what I'm
it
saying,
still
for not
hurts
being
and
able-
sucks because you don't get that one-on-one time, but at least you're still providing for that child.
Right.
And that's the other thing is a lot of child support is based off of all of it is based off of your time with that other parent. My son only sees his dad every other weekend, and then for every other holiday, and then 4 weeks during the summer, sometimes
So
5.
you're not like keeping them from them. You're like,
no.
So what if you made an agreement? It was like, 1 week here, 1 week there. Like, would you?
Well, we can't because of the distance. So
Oh, okay.
he's 2.5. He's about 2.5 hours from here. So that's why it's that. Now, if he lived closer, then yeah. But he also knows that he has free range. So if he comes into the area because he travels for work, so if he comes down here for work, he knows all he has to do is call me and be like, "Hey, I'm in the area. Are you doing anything with him tonight?" And normally for me, I'll be like, I'll change plans.
But you guys aren't like at odds because of child support either, are you?
No,
So
we've had our disagreements
right,
because
that's adult stuff too.
and I've had my disagreements with him because, providing what do you make, what do I make kind of situation, and me wondering, like, are you really providing me with absolutely everything kind of situation?
Well, so it's funny you say that because like if you come to the agreement that this is how much I'd have to pay for him, and you have that, it doesn't really matter what kind of lifestyle he lives after that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he gets what he gets without going above and beyond. Now, if his dad wanted, and this is just me speculating because I haven't, if he wants to go on beyond and get him something nice, and that's on him. Being his father,
Yeah.
get him a new baseball glove. It shouldn't come out in a monthly sum. It should come out whenever it should come out in good faith.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm gonna take him here to do this. And but while you have him, I'm subsidizing all those things that like daily things, like I want to do sports and I want to.
Yeah, I mean, we've done that where he's bought him a really nice Carhartt jacket, and he sends it back with him. I'm not going to go spend $90 on a Carhartt jacket for a 7-year-old just because it's not
He's gonna
practical
grow out
for
of
me.
it.
He's going to grow out of it. But if his dad wants to go pay for a $90 Carhartt jacket and let him wear it, by all means, just do me a favor, send it with him so that way he actually gets use out of it.
Right.
And not just every other weekend.
So do you take those things into consideration whenever you're totaling up, how much does it cost to raise a kid, or do you take it out as like, this is a nice thing that he did for him? Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, with my daughter, like, I'm not tallying up the nice things that I do and tallying up the nice things Tabs does either.
Yeah, I don't really tally anything because I pay for things. I mean, if you're going to tally things, and that means it's like, did you get him a hair? I paid for the last haircut, now you're paying for this haircut. Or
It becomes tedious, right?
Yeah, it just becomes too much. Like, for me, if you're providing for him, and which he does, he provides his child support monthly for him, and we split medical bills. And if I need something for him, like if I were to call him and be like, hey, listen, this just happened, and he needs this and this, his dad usually will not fight me on it. Like when it comes to school supplies, I was like,
Right.
do you want to split school supplies, or do you want to buy him a new backpack this year? Or do you want to do this or this? And we split school clothes. Like that was one thing. It's like, okay, if I get all the school supplies this year, can you get him the first set of school clothes? And like, that's just kind of, it's not a tit for tat thing, because I feel like when you do a tit for tat thing, you defeat the purpose and you are harming the child more than you're doing anything.
Okay, so I mean, you have a pretty good head on it. Like I said, if you guys agree, then there's really no issue. Now, since we have an understanding of where you're coming from and where I'm coming from, this video, what do you think about 50 Cent's son? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I think about it, but what do you think about it? Like,
First of all, how old is he?
I believe he's 25 years old.
Why is he still getting child support? The only thing I thought of was, if he's still getting child support, kind of the first part of the clip, when I understood, is that 50 Cent, I guess, didn't get into his life until he was like 11 or so. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, then he's in the rears for the first 11 years of his life.
He could have been, but the thing is, he got what 50 Cent does, and I found this out in another video, is that he, like, for each of his children, he gives there's a lump sum that he puts into account, mm-hmm. and it gets drawn out over time, right? So every month that child support payment hits, and so he said it was 1.2 million in an account, and then I guess he's still getting it if I did my math correctly, which I didn't do any math, so my math isn't correct.
Does he want to adopt me? Like, does he? I mean, I'm just saying, like,
what, 50 Cent?
Yeah, I'm like, but 25, and you're still getting. Did they say $6,700 a month?
$6,700 a month.
And it was almost like he was complaining that it wasn't enough.
Right. So what he was saying, and I can understand a little bit where he's coming from. It was like 50 Cent's a troll. You know what 50 Cent did? He bought it was like the first, I want to say it was like first 5 rows of seats at a Ja Rule concert, just so nobody else can get him, to make Ja Rule feel like nobody wanted to show up at his concert.
Okay, well, that's rude.
Like that. So what he was saying is, like, at $6,700 a month, I can't just live anywhere. So I need to live, somewhere away from all the enemies where I'm not getting harmed because they don't like my dad. Okay. Right. And then on top of that, he goes into, it was like, I can't live regular. It was like, how much money he made? He made this much money. It was like, well, Marquise, how much money a month would you say is enough?
I could survive off of $6,700 a month.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's double to what... Pretty much almost double to what I make right now. So, $6,700 a month, I would be living nicely.
No comment for me. Anyways,
I mean, for me, I can live frugal. So...
I think... So, if we break down what $600-700 comes out to about $80,000. That's did you know that's top earner pay around here? Yes. Like, I looked up the minimum is $24,000. I think we talked about it, and then I finally looked up what a top earner would make, and it averages out about $80,000. So the range is somewhere up at 135, and then it goes down as low as like 50. So that's your top earners.
Right. Down below that.
So, I mean, with that, like, you can live off of $24K because, there's people around here who are doing it. Yeah. It might not be like the best of life, but...
Not in our neighborhood, but...
You don't know what you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
Like, I don't know how good it is to sit in that leather chair right there because I've never had it. But this old cloth chair is going to feel good either way because, my feet are hurting and I had a long day. Yeah. I just bought that novelty, I guess. I barely sit there. Like,
it's very comfortable, by the way. Yeah, I highly recommend that chair.
You see all the electronics on it? And, I do. That's a phone charger right there.
I mean, I highly recommend that. Like, that's a good purchase right there.
It is, but like I said, I don't sit there. I sit here hunched over working. You know what I'm saying? Like college work, editing videos, and this is the chair that I use. I should.
But do you watch your football games in that at least?
I barely watch football. The last movie I watched was 2 weeks ago, and then before that, it was about a month. Well. Then I remember, like, I have that chair, and it's like, okay.
You could be relaxing.
I could, but I'm always working.
Fair.
So.
Fair.
I'm a busybody. So, and the reason why I got the single chair was because there was, like, a 2-seater right there, and so I was like, it's so I could come in here. I was like, no, it's a man cave, and now I'm realizing I should have got the 2-seater.
You should have.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to buy a second one to sit there to collect dust.
And not sit in it? And then we'll just come up and sit in it for you. And tell you how amazing it is. She could hit buttons the whole time.
It's a good chair. Oh, completely off topic. Don't go to the PX and buy that chair. They charge you double for that chair. I bought this one off of Amazon for $1,200. So it's $2,400 over at the PX.
It's definitely not in my budget right now anyways.
But anyways, like I said, off topic, nobody knows how it's going to sit. Nobody knows what it feels like to sit in that chair. Yeah. Because they just don't know. They probably don't even know it exists, that you can have a chair like that. And that's why I think that $24,000 is a perfect, like, humility and, being able to go out just whenever you can, not necessarily when you want to, and budgeting for it. So you can live there. And, you start to step up and, you go, okay, well, now that we have a kid, I need to make more money. And you got to think, how much is the more money I need to make? And you're going to sit somewhere around 40,000 to 45,000, maybe 50,000 high end lifelong.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking lifelong. Like, this is how much I'm making.
It takes a lot to raise a kid. Kids are expensive.
Takes a lot of time.
Takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money, though, too. Kids are expensive. I mean, you got to think. I just dropped this past weekend. No, yesterday. I dropped probably $130 on winter clothes just to get him started for winter because he outgrew everything. The stuff fit like a month ago, and now yesterday I went to go try a long sleeve shirt on him, and I'm like, well, that's just not going to work. So I just had to go buy more. So it's like $130 I wasn't expecting to spend that soon. I was hoping I could get some more time out of it. And the week before that, I had to get him new cleats because his cleats were just pretty much done for. So it's like another $50 there just for cleats. So it's like kids are expensive, and
they are, and it's because they're still growing.
Yeah.
Eventually, she started cheerleading. Tabs dropped $200 on that, and uniforms and all that other stuff. But I mean, the good thing about that is that we work together on these things. Yeah. Tabs just wanted to put her in cheerleading. And I didn't even have to think about what cheerleading costs because Tabs was just like, I want to do this. I'm going to just cover it.
Yeah.
And over on my side of it, I don't know what I buy my daughter, but I know that, it's like if Tabs needs something from me, I'm always here. And like I said, I don't give it a second thought. And us being together and going through, our turmoil and, coming back from it, forgiving and, it's not anything huge. So don't think that, we're just, abusing each other and then, just coming back from the fire. But it's like, just small nitpicks that, we'd have here and there. No worries. And it's normally about the dogs. It's never normal. It's never about our child. It's never about bills. It's just the dogs. It's like, I can't stand your dog, and she might feel, hurt about it. And
her dog's really cute.
She's got a very pretty dog.
She does.
Her dog's stupid. So, you know what I'm saying? And this is not, don't be like, yo, I'm going to go tell her. Like, she already knows. But, like, that's normally what it is. And like I said, we bounce back from those things. And, we take care of business at the end of the day. I don't think we've really had such a huge conflict. Maybe the shakes and the quakes, but that's about it. So, like, I would say that is a benefit of having, two people in the household. I'm not trying to pay for a house by myself. Trying to go at it alone. She's not trying to, and then, we both live a lifestyle of, it's like we got to have our own space, obviously.
Yeah.
And we'd have to reproduce that at the next place. So, like I said, all of our money comes together and we can, like, hyper fixate on our daughter whenever we need to and get her to places she needs to go.
Yeah.
So, I would say that it's 100 times easier.
It is. I feel like it would be 100 times easier if it was the dual aspect of things. And before I got divorced, like, he was the one that was kind of in charge of all of the money and all that kind of stuff. It was just one account. There was no separate accounts. Like, I didn't have my account with money in it. He didn't have his account with money in it. It was just like everything went into one account, and like that's what it was. And he handled all of that. So like getting divorced was different. Like, I had to learn how to do everything on my own. And then that's, like, the child support is, I mean, I don't get paid an astronomical amount of child support every single month. Like, it's not a crazy amount.
You're not getting paid $6,700 a month.
Not even close. I'm under $1,000 at that.
You probably stop working at that point.
That would be really tempting. So, I mean, like I said, but child support for us is based off of my income and his income. So, and we have a very mutual respect of if there's like he doesn't nitpick me. Right. So you were saying that before, like nitpicking. So he doesn't nitpick like my yearly raise. Like if I get a raise and it's $1, he's not going to be like, I need to know this. Your child support has to go down. Just like I don't go after him every single time he gets a raise. I also don't expect his overtime. So he gets overtime. And I've mentioned it to him before, but he, his statement is like, I don't always have overtime. Overtime's like kind of an added bonus, like sometimes. He's like, I get it like maybe a few times a month, if that. So it's not always guaranteed. So we have the mutual agreement that you have your overtime stuff. Well, you do get like, then he covers more of like the haircuts. He covers more of like getting different things for him and helping out with that kind of stuff.
All this communication right here sounds really, really tedious. Like it's like, why would, hey, look, just if you stay in the household, and I'm not saying like, if you're being abused somehow, like
if you're being abused, leave.
And not some BS talking about like, you got a girl with her jaw wired shut because her man just blew up on her. Not saying that it wasn't warranted or anything, because ass whoopings don't just fall out of the sky.
Oh my God, no one deserves to be beat.
Okay, I'll say yes. Nobody deserves to be beat, just for the YouTube algorithm.
No one deserves it.
But there's a point where like even men, you know what I'm saying? That's why men are polite to each other. Men are polite to each other because guess what? It was like you can sneak one off on me and I'll end up in the dirt somewhere, you know what I'm saying, or I can hit you. But either way, this is if this gets violent, there's a very high risk of one of us losing our lives. So what we're going to do is be nice to each other. Women, they're like, yo, you can't hit me, you son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's why your pee-pee's small. And your mama's got a big one. You know what I'm saying? Your mama was the one, you know what I'm saying? And so, like that, it's a constant. Like me with guys, there's like, I know when to back off. And I roast people.
You do.
You know what I'm saying? I roast the hell out of people. But I know when to back off. And that's right about the time where either somebody's about to cry, or I'm about to get hit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of like, like, gets a bad haircut. It's like, that man can only take so much before over a haircut, that man can only take so much. And it's not a 24-hour, every time I see this guy now, I'm just going to, right? So I'll back off. And then you look at cases like Rihanna, where, you got Chris Brown, and Chris Brown's like 19 years old at the time, where, all you see is like the aftermath of what happened.
Yeah. Even
hockey has 2 minutes for instigating. You know what I'm saying? Now you're talking about women who just, like, they can't stop. You know what I'm saying?
But it doesn't, you can't stop. Yes, you can, though.
Have you ever been hit in the mouth before? Like, just straight up,
No.
Never?
No.
All right. But you don't want to know what it feels like.
I've been in the crossfire of a hit before, but I've never been straight
targeted,
up,
like, it's never been.
I've been slapped across the face, does that count? I've never been punched. I've been slapped. But 2 separate guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you talking your shit?
No.
You go ahead in a minute. What?
No, actually, the first one was in high school. I got slapped across the face. And...
So, an ass whooping that just fell out of the sky, right?
I don't remember in high school what happened.
That's very convenient. You remember getting slapped, but...
I do.
Don't remember what
no,
it was
but
for.
I don't remember why. Like, we were in high school. We were at Adventure Island, and... I guess he didn't like something I said, so he turned around and he slapped me across the face.
Obviously, he didn't like something.
But I still didn't deserve to be hit. I didn't put my hands on him.
So, like, I'll extend an olive branch. You don't deserve to be hit. Nobody deserves to be hit.
No.
If it's talking, you should go with the old adage of sticks and stones. Break my bones. But remember, not everybody thinks like you either. Not everybody thinks like me, which is why I'm very conscious of it, because I have been hit before. Yeah. I've been hit because somebody thought I was somebody else, and then I kissed his girlfriend or something. This is so elementary, but it happened in middle school. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting over here at my locker, and the dude just shoulders me and
I was in high school when I got slapped across the face. Like, I could not tell you what the reasoning behind it, but I could tell you this much: I didn't deserve it. And now I have hit a guy because he bowed up to me and was talking crap to me, and I turned around and I swung on him.
So the concept of, you can only take so much.
Yes.
Because
he busted out the C word to me, and at that point I was done and my hand went flying. The other time I got hit was probably 2 years ago.
See, that's the thing is like you know what it takes to get you set off. If you understand men, like you would have to understand what it takes to get us set off. And constantly just, poking and prodding we're trying to walk away, you know what I'm saying? Like, get back, you stupid son of a bitch. It's like, that's why I let your friend pipe me down in the closet at work. And then it's like, okay, so you want to catch this up. Like, I don't want to give it to you, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things you just can't come back from.
With that all being said, if you are in an abusive relationship, don't stay in it. Get out.
Absolutely. Get out of there.
Get out. It's not worth it. Get out of that.
And if it's that kind of abusive, remember, ass whoopings don't fall out of the sky. What I suggest you to do is seek counseling so you understand when to shut up sometimes and not take those L's. I'm not saying that that's all cases, because there might be a case where an ass whooping just fell out of the sky, and those women shouldn't be hurt in that manner. You know what I'm saying? They should not be.
I definitely just get out. I mean, but abuse can go both ways. So that is another thing. It doesn't matter, guy, girl. If you're being abused, get out of the relationship. It's not worth staying in it. So just take the L, get out. It's not worth it. And that's true. I mean, it goes both ways. It's not, to me, it's not just a guy always doing it to a woman. So
yeah, because women just be throwing them out there. Like, I can't even hurt you, like that Amber Heard situation. She was like, he goes, you were hitting me. She's like, yeah, but I'm a girl.
Get out. Like, it's verbal, emotional, verbal, physical, whatever. If it's not worth it, get out of it. I mean,
get a police report. Like, every time a woman hits you, I don't care if she's joking around. Oh, stop. Police report. Like, right there. Oh, like, that should never happen. If you say that is that should be accepted.
No, but what if you're playing around?
No, part of the problem.
But you're playing around.
I don't hit nobody while I'm playing around.
Uh-huh.
I never hit. See what I'm saying? Look at all these excuses over here.
Whatever.
We done got off topic.
Yes, we did. All right, $6,700 a month. I want to go back to this. He's 25 years old.
Yes.
And he's still getting
$6,700 a month.
And he's complaining.
Yes.
Okay, so child support generally stops at 18.
21 if they go to college, right?
21 if they go to college, I believe, unless that person is providing. So, but 25, he gets $6,700 a month. Mm-hmm. Yeah, honey, get a job. Get a job.
I mean, from the man side of it, and I have seen other videos past this video where they're talking about, how 50 Cent operates and his thoughts on his son. And he says, because it's his son, you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody else is just kind of like, oh, this is a bum. But he's more like, well, I tried. His mother was really the one that was stopping us. And you could tell that his sense of entitlement comes from his mom.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If I told him that I had a business opportunity, because he said there was a shoe store that was going out of business, sold all the the freshest kicks, and what he went in there and he was like, well, what's he asked him what retail was and versus what wholesale was, and he was like, this seems like a good opportunity for my son. So he bought out the guy's shoes, the Air Force Ones, because they were hot back then. They're still hot. And he told his son, he was like, hey, you can start an online shoe store with these. Storage is really cheap. You can make $40 a pop with these shoes because they're selling for $80. You know what I'm saying? So he said his son didn't want to take that opportunity, and his mom kind of steered him in another direction, saying that his mom was like, well, we could open up a boutique too, kind of like taking the father-son idea out of it, and the mom wanted to control this.
The whole aspect of it.
But 50 Cent obliged in the boutique, and by the time it was all said and done, the online shoe store didn't get stood up, and the boutique didn't get stood up. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, you can try as much as you want, but if your child's mother has a hold of his ear, 100% of the time, then there's not really much a man can say. All he sees me as is the same thing that she sees me as, a wallet. And I don't think that's fair to men.
It's not. I mean, it's not fair to anyone that is the one paying the child support. Like, he shouldn't have to just be, like, he's giving him opportunities and do that kind of stuff. That does fall on the mom. If the mom's not going to step up and, so what is she getting still? Is she still getting child support?
Well, I mean, $6,700 a month. I mean, I'm pretty sure you don't spend that on a child.
So is he getting the money directly, or is she getting the money and...
I really don't know.
Because that's a good question. Like, is she still getting anything?
But
I mean, she technically shouldn't be getting anything at this point because he is a grown man and she doesn't need to support him.
I don't think he would be getting anything unless since I know how like savings accounts and like trust kind of work is like you still build a percentage of what do they call whenever not taxes but an increase like let's say I put $1,000 in and I get a $10 like every man. I'm drawing a blank right now. I swear to God, I went to college for this portion. And here, let me see what that was.
All right.
Let's go time out. That is security maintenance. Okay, cool. We're still recording. Anyways, I'm pretty sure that's where the rest of that money's coming from, all the way up until he's 25, is because that money's still in the account and it's just built interest over time.
Okay.
Right. So that's just what I'm speculating. I don't know that for sure. But I mean, 50 Cent would be smarter than that because 50 Cent, even though he's a troll, he's still a fantastic businessman. Yeah. Like, this man is just no joke, like a mogul, almost to the level of Jay-Z and P. Diddy, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, he's there. But what the son is saying is that, like, this man is worth, and talking about the little that he's getting. It's like, well, I'm pretty sure everybody else in this audience is looking at you like, dude, my dad was a bum and didn't pay a single cent in child support. In fact, got sent to prison for child support. Came back, didn't want to pay it still, or couldn't pay it still because, it's hard for, an ex-convict to get money. It went back to prison. Yeah. It's like, so you're saying that, you know what I say to that? Go talk to your mom. See what kind of men she's into. Because it ain't men like me who's, skipping out on child support. And it's not men like me who's giving women babies knowing that I'm not in a marriage with them. You know what I'm saying? So you need to go figure it out. And I would like to note that there's a difference between me and them. But see, I don't be getting chances like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that chance whenever I was young. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'll let you hit it raw. Like, I never heard that shit. Let me stop making this about me. And I don't want to make it about, like, I don't want to make it a fight between the sexes and preferences or anything.
No, there's like women that pay child support.
10%.
I mean, but they're still out there.
They're still out there.
So, I mean, but, to me, it's just, the $6,700 a month, that's just, I'm still stuck in the fact that he thinks he can't live off that. But I get, like, parts of where they're saying, like, he feels he has to live in a certain demographic area because that's all he can because of his dad's past mistakes and stuff like that. But, like, again, you're 25 and you have opportunities, and yes, your mother is in your ear, but at some point in time, you're a grown man and you can cut off what your mother's saying in your ear and decide to make choices for yourself.
That's right.
And make money for yourself and not depend off of daddy's wealth.
He'd have to figure it out soon enough. The thing I'll give 50 Cent credit for, and I don't want to completely overwrite, I think we are in agreement here. Mm-hmm. Eventually... I was going the direction of, like, what I give 50 Cent credit for is the fact that, like, he's still trying. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's still, going like, hey, look, there's still things out here. And I think if it was my son, I would want to try too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like...
You never want to give up on your kids. Yeah. I mean, my parents still... There are moments I've had moments where I'm, like, struggling after my divorce. And my mom, without a hesitation, just... Next thing I know, there's a check in the mail, and it was her sending me money just to help me out for groceries that month. Or she would be like, "Hey, go get your nails done. Go get a pedicure and your nails done. Take some time for yourself." Right. Did I use it for that? No, I usually used it for like a bill or something like that, just to get ahead somewhere. But it was like I feel like as a parent, you don't ever really stop taking care of your kids. Like you always want to be there for them, but there also comes a point where you just have to stop enabling them. And stop.
Well, you know how that works.
Supporting them.
You know a lifestyle. A comedian named D.L. Hughley.
Yes.
All right, so I can quote this one, not perfectly, but he goes, "See, your mom, she's supposed to tell you that you could be the next president of the United States. Your dad is the one that tells you." Not with these D's. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be the president or nothing, unless so what he's saying is like, a very important message between the roles of what parents are supposed to be and have them in the house. even, and I'm not going to say that it's right on par with two parents that, stick together and, battle it out to the end.
Yeah.
And put duty over everything else. Even in a situation where you have two parents who didn't work out, and got divorced and are still in their kids' lives as much as possible, and, they're working together still, like they couldn't while they were married, you know what I'm saying? Work better apart for some reason.
Sometimes you're better off friends than you are married.
Sense. But anyways, I'm digressing. But even in those situations, the kid gets what they need, and they don't see the conflict between the parents. They can still go talk to dad. They can still go talk to mom. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that kid is gonna understand that with his D's, he's not gonna become the next president of the United States.
Yeah.
Now, whenever you get, like, let's say 50 Cent's situation where him and his son Marquise, it was like, well, 50 Cent is away working. And making a lot of money, and I'm pretty sure the business world is going to pull you in directions where, you got to go somewhere and you can't be there for your kid, which is why $6,700 a month. Now all he has is his mom. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, mom is saying you could be the next president of the United States, or you're handsome. You know what I'm saying? And then he gets out into the real world and women are calling him ugly and broke. And that he's stupid, so he's not going to be the next president. And, now he's like, I was lied to. And, but he's not going to resent his mom for it. He's going to resent everybody else because they don't see him the way his mom sees him. Right? And that's where I think his attitude's coming from, is a sense of entitlement. It's like, mom says I should be getting, mom keeps on whispering in my ear that 50 Cent's net worth is $120 million. How come he can't just break off a quick $5 million? It's because it's never going to stop.
It's called the snowflake. It's called the participation trophy.
Yeah.
They think that just because they participated, doesn't matter that they all sucked and their team came in last, and that they didn't win a single game throughout the whole year, that they think that they should be getting a trophy just because they actually participated. No, the trophies are for first, second, and third.
Yeah, for winners.
For the winners. Just because you participated doesn't mean you should be getting all this extra stuff. So yes, but within their case, yes, he did participate. He gave birth, he helped, make a child and stuff like that. But at some point or another, you have to take responsibility of your own life and make something of yourself. Absolutely. Like, you can't just be entitled to the $6,700 the rest of your life.
Entitlement is something that happens in your head, so he's going to be entitled. But like the thing is
that have a rough life.
Yeah, you just don't meet that need. You kind of look at him and go, "All right, bud, you can't take me back to court. Like, I've done my time."
Like, what happens if something happens to 50 Cent? Like, I'm not saying just nothing happens to him, but like, what if something does happen to him, and all of a sudden, where's the money? What are you gonna do then when the money's gone? Because you're just going to get all of this money, like this lump sum, you're just going to blow through it all. Like, what you going to do? Like, eventually, their money runs out eventually.
Well, that's the way of seeing somebody like as a Waller. And I said that's why 50 Cent isn't giving him $5 million here and there. Because there's always going to be more that's going to be asked for. It's like, well, it says that you're at $120 million. Why can't you just give us another $1 million this year?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why can't you just break off $2 million for Christmas so we can go to Paris and just blow money on a shopping spree? Why can't you do this, that, and the third? And like I said, $6,700 a month. It's just like, hey, you can live, and you can live a really decent life off this.
Could get yourself some land away from everybody that hates you or hates your father.
They're in New York too. They just moved to upstate.
Oh. I mean, he could get out of that area and actually just go live somewhere, like I said, with some land that nobody knows where you're at, and have a nice house on it and live very nicely with that.
They also said that, and this is a video that I watched afterwards, it was talking about how they can't move away from New York because then the cost of child support goes down. And I was like, he put the money in an account for you to draw from. Move to South Carolina. Move to Georgia. You know what I'm saying?
Come on down here to North Carolina. You get yourself something real nice for $6,700.
Come down to North Carolina. You'll have the biggest house here in North Carolina for $6,700 a month.
You would have something real nice for that, and you live just fine.
Exactly. Mom doesn't have to work until kid gets old and now she can't get in child support no more. But if she was smart, she would have put some of that money away. But see,
I mean, she would have, but I mean, if she was doing it the way you're supposed to, that money went towards her child and not towards herself.
Right. I mean, what, like maybe $1,500 for a mortgage, and you got food and clothes, and if you're even living off that much money frugally, I mean, you're saying like, hey, look, I can get you a pair of J's this year, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But the mom was saying, but he's 50 Cent's son. It was like he can't just have one pair of J's.
No, he can. You don't want him to have just one pair of J's.
That's a
So that's the difference. Like for me, my kid can have some knockoff Crocs, but if his dad wants him to have Crocs, then he can go buy him Crocs. I'm not going to go buy him those just because I'm not paying $40 for a pair of shoes that he's going to grow out of in like 3 months. So if you want to go buy him that, cool beans. If not, I'm going to go to Walmart and get me some shoes that he's going to ruin anyways within a couple weeks, and we're good to go. You got your school clothes, and then you got your play clothes. Like, I just don't do that. Like, I live
frugally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. You kind of have to sometimes. Like, I take him out to dinner or lunch every once in a while, but he's not going to go every single day. He's not going to go every single week.
Right.
He will go do our stuff, but we're also gonna.
I think I could say for this one that we agree specifically about 50 Cent's son.
Yes.
And it's $6,700.
It's just, I want to be adopted. I want to get in on this fund.
Funny story, true story. There's people out here who are willing to adopt an adult. There was a story about
I will put my information on Instagram on this if you want to hit me up.
Oh, so this is
you can adopt me.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how crusty you want to go, get a sugar daddy that. See, now you're asking for too much.
I don't need.
Think about Hugh Hefner.
You can give me a sugar daddy, but I don't want to give up no sugar.
See, there you go. Wanting something for. We had such a great conversation. And I tell you about, I want something for next. Just give me.
I'm good.
Give me money, and I will give you nothing in return.
I don't need it. I promise. I don't need it. I'm good. I don't need anything. I will be fine with my job and my living.
But it would be nice, though, wouldn't it?
It would, but I ain't giving up no sugar.
I mean, there's some times whenever I was like, well, what would happen if I sold my soul? And because selling your soul means something completely different from it. It means you're giving up the cheek virginity to somebody one time, and you better make that money last, because the next man who you're about to sell yourself to is not going to give you as much because it's not as brand new.
Yeah.
Sad face.
I'm.
Thought I was worth $10,000 every single time. Turns out it's $10,000 and then $10. Okay, you kidding?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm not giving up. I'll give up sugar to like one person, and that is it. And
well, that's the relationship between a sugar daddy and a sugar baby. Bada boom, bada bam. You're not like going around throwing it at everybody. That would be called prostitution.
Yeah, I don't even want to give up anything to a sugar daddy. So I'm sorry. I just I may joke around about it sometimes, but I mean, if you want to donate, I'll take it. But
see, look, something for nothing. Like that. Like, I'm going to give you nothing, but just go ahead and drop that money in the cash.
I'll give you all the smiles. I'll bat my eyes at you.
See, here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm not going to post your Cash App on there. I'm going to let you handle that whenever they flood your Instagram.
Okay.
With, sweet nothings, and hopefully send every dick pic.
Oh my God. Poor Mac. He's going to be like, what the heck, Heather?
You're going to be like, hey, Mac, look at this one.
He's gonna be like, "Oh God, what did you do?" And be like,
"I got KB some subscribers. That's what I got." I'm like,
"I can go to dinner tonight, though. I'm paying."
All right, everybody. Well, show some love down in the comment section, because, of course, neighbor Heather here did not have to be here, but she came out of here. Well, I did make her food today.
He did. It was really good.
Tater tots.
Not had that before. It was really good. Thank you.
Like, I should have put the egg on top. Yeah.
It'd be like a hangover version.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's how. But if you got nothing for me, I've got nothing for you. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll stay up to date on every time I drop a new video. And I'll see you on the next one.
Rock on.